In order for the reviewers to pass the mathematics board exam, you have to practice, practice, practice. Not only reading and listening, you have to practice. Hello everyone! Welcome back to another math tutorial. An airplane travels at a distance of 500 kilometers against the wind in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Traveling the same distance with the wind, the airplane consumed 1 hour and 15 minutes. Find the velocity of the wind. Now, dito, ang measurement niya, ang units, is kilometer, and the time is hour and minutes. Minutes, you have to convert it to hour because we need kilometer per hour. The question here is the velocity of the wind. So we have to put it in kilometer per hour. Now, velocity, it is the distance over the time. Now, the usual procedure in solving a problem is first you have to put the given and what is required and be careful with, as I've said earlier, the measurement. You have to be consistent. Now here, because we are looking for the velocity of the wind, so we leave V as the velocity, D as the distance, and T as the time. Now therefore, we have this formula for velocity which is equal to the distance over the time. Now here, to solve this one, we need to see first if we can make an equation. Now here, the airplane is traveling at a distance of 500 meters. So there is the distance, the given distance which is 500 kilometer. Against the wind, that means ang velocity ng airplane is against the velocity of the wind. Nagkasalungat sila. At 1 hour and 45 minutes. So, ang time travel ng airplane is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Yun ang time travel ng airplane. So, they are traveling. So, now, here we have to see the velocity of airplane minus the velocity of the wind. Bakit minus? Dahil nagkasalungat sila eh. So, equal to the distance covered, which is, they have the same distance, which is 500, and the time, which is 1 hour and 45 minutes. So, convert it to hour, you have to divide it by 60. Now, simplifying this one, 500 over 1.75, therefore, is equal to 285.71 kilometer per hour. Therefore, simplifying this one, VA, therefore, the velocity of the airplane is equal to 285.71 plus the velocity of the wind. Now, some people, they are trying to make the least common denominator to solve this one, 1 plus 45 over 60. In my side, mas gugustuhin ko pa na ano ko na kaagad yan, halimbawa ito, ano ko sa decimal point, mas madali mo i-minus o plus sa anong given dito na number, gaya nito. Ang 3/4, iba ang 3/4.75, so 1 plus 0.75 is 1.75, kasi kung gagawa ka pa ng dito, ano mo dito, lowest common denominator, tapos ano mo pa, tapos i-invert mo na naman yan, so it takes more time than ganito. Lalo na kung may calculator ka, diretso na lang i-input yan. Karamihan pa naman ngayon sa board exam is mahaba ang problem, pero ang pag-solve, maiksi lang kasi multiple choice na ngayon eh, kaya kailangan mo ng time talaga. So, you have to be very quick. Kung hindi mo ma-solve, leave it and go to another problem. So, here, VA minus velocity of airplane minus the velocity of wind is equal to 285.71 km per hour. Now, to simplify this one, we can find VA is equal to 285.71 plus, kasi ito, transfer mo sa kabila, maging plus na. plus the velocity of the wind. So we will make it as equation 1. This one. Now, the second condition here is traveling the same distance. So they are traveling again the same distance, which is equal to 500 kilometer. And at the same distance, that means together, hindi na sila nagkasalungan. So, ang velocity nila is velocity of the airplane plus the velocity of the wind is equal to the distance, which is 500 kilometer divided by the hour they consume is 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour plus 15 minutes. So, 15 divided by 60 to convert it to hour. Therefore, converting this one is equal to 1.25. So, 500 divided by 1.25 is equal to 400. So, VA plus VW, VW, therefore, we can simplify this one is equal to 400 minus, transfer this one on the other side, it will become minus VA. So, meron na tayong equation 2. The velocity of wind, which is equal to 400 minus the velocity of the airplane. This is equation 2. So, we can substitute this velocity of wind to this one, to this equation. Okay? So, therefore, V is equal to 285.71 plus velocity of the wind, which is equal to 400 minus VA. This is the one from the equation 2. 400 minus VA. So, to simplify this one, 2VA, therefore VA, tapos i-transfer yung VA dito, naging 2VA, kasi naging positive yan. So, 2VA is equal to this total, which is equal to 6685.71. Therefore, 685.71 divided by 2, VA, therefore, the velocity of the airplane is equal to 342.86 km per hour. Pero, ang kailangan natin dito is find the velocity of the wind. That is the VW. So, just we can substitute from any equation. So, we have the given VA. So, you can substitute from equation 2, this one, to solve the velocity of the wind. Therefore, from this equation, which is equal to 400 minus 342, which is the V is 342, this is the VA, 342.86. Velocity of wind, therefore, is equal to 400 minus 342.86 equal to 57.14 km per hour. Ito yung hinahanap natin ang velocity of wind. Kaya lang natin sinusolve muna ang velocity of airplane kasi kailangan natin para to solve the velocity of. Another question, the velocity of Gulf air in still air is 150 km per hour. The velocity of wind blowing due south is 30 km per hour. If the plane travels south and returns back to its base after 4 hours, what distance does the plane travels due south? Now here the given is the BP in still air, which is equal to the velocity of the plane in still air, which is 150 km per hour. And the velocity of the wind is equal to 30 km per hour. Now, the time traveled round trip is 4 hours. Now, what is required here is the distance the plane travels due south. So, south, tapos pabalik, of course, north. Now, of course, the velocity is equal to the distance over the time, or the distance is equal to the velocity times the time. Now, the distance traveled with wind is equal to the distance traveled against the wind. Kasi round trip, pabalik. So, same distance lang papunta at pabalik. Against with the wind and against the wind. So, therefore, using this formula, distance is equal to VT. Now, 150 the velocity of the Gulf air, the plane, plus the velocity of the wind, 30 multiplied by the time, so it will become the distance, is equal to the distance traveled against the wind. So if against the wind na, 150 minus na ang sa wind, which is 30. Then the time, which is, because the total time going and coming is 4, so i-minus mo ang time one way. 4 minus t. Time therefore is equal to 1.6 hours. Now, nasolve na natin ang time. So, we can solve the distance the plane travels due south. So, yung due south, ang velocity nila, kasi they are in the same direction. So, ang velocity ng plane plus the velocity of the wind multiply by the time traveled, 1.6, which is one way. So, the distance the plane traveled due south therefore is equal to 288 kilometers.
Sorry, it's DJ.